Greetings, deep diggers. I want to show you something today. I want to show you how I read scripture or any type of sacred text. And this is how I'm able to see things that are beyond the surface. And there are actually two things you really need to remember when you're reading scripture. It's very important. And I know for a fact that this is why I see things from a different perspective and through different lens. So the first one is everything in scripture is not meant to be literal. Most people, when they read scripture, they take everything they read as literal history. It actually happened in a particular time in previous years or previous centuries. And so that's number one. That's number one. Number two is this is the only time when it's okay to take something personal. Because when I read the scriptures, I take it personal. I don't look at the text, no matter what I'm reading, as if it's referring to someone else or talking about someone else or teaching me about someone else. It's me. So all of the characters that I see in scripture, I see me. And that's how I'm able to see more than what someone would see if they were just reading it literally. So I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to read 2 Kings 6:14 through 17. And that is one of my most favorite passages in scripture. And you're going to see why. So this is what it says. So one night the king of Aram sent a great army with many chariots and horses to surround the city. And when the servant of the man of God arose early and went out, there was an army surrounding the city with horses and chariots. And his servant said to him, "Alas, my master, what shall we do?" So he answered, "Do not fear, for those who are with us are more than those who are with them." And Elijah prayed and said, "Lord, I pray, open his eyes that he may see." And then the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw. And behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elijah. So when I was reading that story, what excited me was not the servant, it was Elijah. So when you're reading that scripture, you have two choices. What consciousness are you operating from? What spirit are you operating from? Are you operating through the lens of that servant who all he saw were the enemies that were surrounding the hills with horses and chariots and weapons? Or do you decide to be the consciousness and the spirit of Elijah, who said, "There are more with us than they are with them"? So right there, as soon as I read that, I've got a choice. Which one am I transmitting? Am I transmitting the energy of the servant or the energy of Elijah? And so I chose at that moment, I'm Elijah. And so because I'm Elijah, I'm not seeing what he's seeing. The servant is seeing the enemies. Elijah is seeing the ones who are with them, who are more than the enemies. And then again, what happened? What did Elijah do when his servant said, "What shall we do?" See, people are going to come to the Elijah spirit. They're going to come to you. And they don't know what to do. They don't know what direction to take. And you that possess the Elijah spirit, I'm talking to you deep diggers now. You who have that Elijah spirit, they are going to come. And they're not going to have any answers. And they're not going to be able to see what you see. And so you, as the Elijah spirit, as the one who has the higher energy and vibration and consciousness, you are that light that they're going to come to. And so what did he say? What did Elijah say when the man said, what are we going to do? He prayed. But I noticed what he prayed, though. He didn't pray, Lord, help us defeat the enemy. Lord, make the enemy go away. Lord, defeat these enemies. You know what he prayed? He said, Lord, I pray, open his eyes, the servant, that he may see. Open his eyes, that he may see what I see. Because if he sees what I see, he will not have any fear. Because that's the first thing he said. Do not fear. For those who are with us are more than those who are with them. See, I believe that. I made that personal. I took it personal. I'm the Elijah spirit. And I know that whatever I'm facing, whatever it looks like, how big the army is, how many people are coming against me, how many people don't support me or don't even want me around them, there's more with me than there are with him. See, you got to realize you have to quit looking at people, because it's not the people, it's the spirits that are influencing the people. And that's why you can't take everything that happens that seems to come against you like it's a personal attack, because it's not. It's not a personal attack. It's the spirit helping you to see things through a different perspective, with open eyes and open ears. So yes, that's what he prayed. Open his eyes that he may see. And what happened after he prayed? It was a simple prayer. He didn't go into a long speech. Some of our prayers are so long, the person we're praying for might fall asleep. But it was a short prayer. And it was a prayer that had so much power in those words. Simple. Open his eyes that he may see. And what happened? It says, behold. Whenever you see the word behold in the scriptures, it means pay close attention to these next words. Pay close attention. And it said, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire. Wow. As soon as I said fire, I heard that crack of thunder. See what I said? Behold. Pay attention to this. And then the Lord thundered his voice. That's not coincidence. That's not coincidence. The mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire. But where were they? All around Elijah. See? And that's what the servant saw. He took his eyes from seeing the horses and the chariots around the mountain. But then he saw the fire, and they were all around Elijah. And I'm just going to read one more to show you this is how I interpret scripture. I put myself in there. I'm going to read another one. I think this is 1 Kings 18:21. This is still Elijah. Now, this scene is where Elijah is in front of the people. And there's a battle between the true God and the false gods and the false prophets versus Elijah, the true prophet. And it says, Elijah stood in front of them and said, how much longer will you waver, hobbling between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal is God, then follow him. But the people were completely silent. Now, see, I heard that. That really spoke to me. Because here's a prophet who seemingly is one prophet against 450. Because that's what he said next to the people. I alone am left a prophet of the Lord. But Baal's prophets are 450 men. And yet he stood there before the people. He didn't cower. He didn't retreat. He stayed the course. He acknowledged where he was. He acknowledged who he was and what he appeared to be in front of all these people. But you know what I love about what he said? He said, how long are you going to waver between two opinions? That spoke to me. Because sometimes my opinion is different in my lower nature, in my flesh, than my opinion appears to be when I'm operating from my divine nature with the spirit of the Christ consciousness. And so I waver. I hobble between two different states of consciousness. So that spoke to me. How long are you going to do that? See, I made it personal. And when you make it personal, you're going to get way more out of the story than this story being about Elijah and the people during that time. No, it's about you in this day and age, at this moment and this hour. So that was a quick lesson I wanted to give you, deep diggers, on how to read sacred text. And if you begin to read it that way, I promise you, you're going to get way more out of the scriptures than just handling it as if it's just history in another time and for another people. So deep diggers, until next time, remember the treasure that you are seeking is already within you. You are the treasure you are seeking. God bless.